would be the heaven and the earth is symbolic of everything that is there with gradation. This world you take about the pleasure, it's full of gradation, more and more and more. The more is endless, the less is also endless. Richer, 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 where will end? It's endless gradation. Gradation is endless. The gradation is endless. The gradation of pleasure is endless. The gradation of pain also is endless. The gradation of wealth is endless. The gradation of poverty also is endless. Therefore, the earth and heaven, this expression, this particular phrase, represents the endless gradation that is available in the creation. Wherever there is a gradation, it is always in contrast to something which has no gradation. Amazingly. The observer has no gradation. I observe gradation, but the very observing nature of the observer has no gradation. Yes, that is the truth. Like the sound and sound and sound and sound. There can be bigger sound, smaller sound. Still, lower sound, lower sound, lower sound, lower sound, lower, endless gradation. But the one who sees it, the hearer of, the observer of the endless gradation of the sound, is gradation free. Therefore, here he asks a question: what is the truth behind the earth and the heaven? What is the truth behind the earth and the heaven? Its implication is, what is the ungraded truth behind this graded creation? What is the ungraded truth behind this graded pleasure, this graded pain, this graded wealth, this graded poverty, this graded emotions? Emotions also have gradations. Take anger, it is prakar. In answer to this, we say it is only Ishvara. What is the truth of the earth and the heaven? It is said, the Shruti says, Yasmin Jyoho Prithvi Jantariksham Utam Manasa Pranish. Jisme where the mind is rooted, there itself is the earth and the heaven are rooted. And that source of both the earth and the heaven cannot be matter. The source of matter cannot be matter. The source of the inert cannot be the inert. It cannot be the inert. It is Parameshvara. Paramatma is the source of the earth. Maybe it is an individual. It's not a mental creation. The universe is not a mental creation because mind itself is a creation. The idea that I am an individual itself, the creator himself is a creation. The faculty, the capacity to think also is a creation. Therefore, we are seeing the verse, the sutra number 3 is over. na anumanam atachabdat. This is na anumanam. You see, we always have this problem of, is it minimum or maximum? You can make it less, minimum. Minimum? ठीक है. ना अनुमानम अतच्छब्दात्. अभी भी हिट कर रहा है. You can turn it. हाँ बात ठीक है. Our problem is to imagine matter as the truth of this matter. This is the problem. Every scientist's main problem is, if this world is inert, its source also must be inert. Then he starts imagining everything physical. The physical world must have a physical source. The physical world must have a physical cause. The physical world must have everything behind physical. You see, everything behind the physical must be physical. You see, this is the problem with the scientists. So the biology must have the cause behind the biology must be another biology. Or they will say the cause behind the biology must be some chemistry, some chemicals. So we imagine physics as the explanation, chemistry as the explanation, or the biology as the explanation. I say they themselves need explanation. Physics, chemistry and biology need explanation. This body needs explanation, this mind needs explanation, this perception needs explanation, this whole universe physics needs explanation. And the explanation for everything is, it is said, is the observer, which is neither physical nor chemical nor is it a bloodstream. The one who observes these three things is a conscious being. It's pure presence. It's a conscious presence. Therefore, this conscious presence is the explanation. Minus the observer, there is nothing. Amazing. Minus the dreamer, there is no dream. Minus the seer, there is no seeing. Minus the hearer, there is no proof of the sound. Minus the seer of the universe, there is no proof of the universe. Therefore, the explanation for the external is the internal, in the sense the subject. Therefore, the source of matter is not another matter, na anumana. Meaning, what the Sankhya school infers, called pradhanam, is not the source of the earth and the heaven. Maybe if the matter is not the source of matter, maybe this individual has created this earth and heaven? No. Prana vricha. Prana, you can recite it. Prana vricha. Nor is the Mr. Jivatma as a limited Jivatma cannot be the source of the earth and the heaven. Because Jivatma means the breather, prana, breath. The one who holds on to breath is called a Jiva. The one who thinks I am existent because of breath. The one who judges his existence as conditional to the breath, he is called a prana, breath. प्राण को धारण करने वाला, Mr. So and so. Every limited Jivatman, every biological individual is Pranabhrit. Every psychological individual is Pranabhrit. Once we say individual is a limited, and as limited is a part of creation, and he cannot be the source of the earth and the heaven, the creation. Cannot be the source of the creation. Because breath is a part of the creation, therefore can't be the source of the creation. Even the idea that my existence, this thinking that I am synonymous with the body, and this thinking that I am synonymous with the breathing, this thinking also is a part of creation. No thought can be the source of the universe. This is what is most comforting in life. All that man thinks is not the truth of the truth, is not the truth. All that man thinks is a part of the creation, is not the source. And therefore, you can relax. You don't have to unnecessarily think and think and think, because even thinking is a part of creation. Because even before you begin to think, you are there, your being is there. Your existence is there. Even before you begin to think, your existence is there. That is the truth. Even before one wakes up, one's being. What wakes up is not one's being. What wakes up is, isko अच्छी तरह से सुनना, 100%. What wakes up is thinking about one's being, and it wakes up in one's being. What wakes up is the thinking, not the conscious. Thinking wakes up in the conscious being, not conscious being wakes up. Consciousness doesn't wake up. Thought becomes manifest. The mind wakes up. Mind means thinking. The thinking that I was not doing in deep sleep state, the thinking that I was not doing in deep sleep state, I started doing. That is called waking up. Thinking manifests. Where does it manifest? In the conscious, in the observer. Where does it become unmanifest? In my being. Because it manifests in us. Thinking manifests in our being. Thinking becomes unmanifest in our being. Therefore, we are able to witness the manifest state as well as the unmanifest state of the thinking. Otherwise, how can we observe me? What is happening in me, I can observe. What is happening somewhere else, I can't observe. What is happening in Obama's dimag, I can't observe it. Therefore, what is happening in me, I can observe. Therefore, if the whole creation I am able to observe, that means it is happening in me. There is no distance. If there is even a little distance, I can't observe. Not only I am observing with great effort, it gets observed. What a choiceless thing. It's like saying the wave that is born choicelessly gets supported by water. That is called choiceless. You have no choice. The wave that is born gets supported by water. You can say the water supports the wave. Yes, choicelessly, with no sense of division. Where there is no choice, there is no division also. Amazing. Where there is no choice, there is no division. Our existence is choiceless, therefore in that there is no division. Divisions can be chosen. Freedom from division happens to be the truth that cannot be, that is choiceless. If division were a truth, then that would be choiceless. But division is not choiceless. What is choiceless cannot be in the form of a thought. बहुत कुछ है जी इसमें, इस शास्त्र में बहुत कुछ है, समझने का आनंद है. Therefore, the thinking manifests in us, the perception manifests in us, and perception means me as a perceiver, my senses and the objects. This is the comprehensive meaning of the term perception. Perception means what? Me as a perceiver, me as a, and then my senses and the object. This whole realm of perception I am able to observe. Why? Because it manifests in us and becomes unmanifest in us. That is why we are able to observe the beginning of the realm of perception and the end of the realm of perception. Yes. So everybody says. Everybody is interested. Meaning man in ignorance, he always says, what afterwards? He says, after death, what do you want to know? Why do you want to know what happens after death? First understand what is death. What happens to me after leaving the body? First understand what is leaving the body, then you will suddenly discover there is nothing to know after leaving the body. What happens? What is the event after leaving the body in sleep? What can happen? Is there an event inside deep sleep state? Alright, after freedom from all events, then what happens? What a question. After all events resolved, what happens? A happening is an event. Every happening is an event. When there is freedom from all events, then what happens? Why do you want? All the time we always say, what happens then? Because, but that can never be. What happens, what happens? Even if you say, this is what happens, then what will he say? After that, what will happen? And then I say, this is what happened. Achha, uske baad kya hota hai? That means what? His search for what happens cannot be answered through a happening. Because after saying that this is what happens, he will again ask, उसके बाद क्या होता है? अगस्त 15 तो होता है, उसके बाद क्या होता है? अगस्त 16 आती है, ना उसके बाद 17 आता है। इस सृष्टि के बाद चलते चलते क्या हो जाता है? देखो, Vedantic sanskara creates in you the right philosophy, the right metaphysical, right way of thinking about the truth, right way of thinking, right philosophic thinking, right analysis. Vedantic sanskara enables you to connect to the event with the truth, where there is no event. Therefore, what happens after death is, I don't think that should be interesting. Because after going to sleep, what happens? Inside sleep, nothing happens. Again, you wake up. And then afterwards, what happens? Again, you go to sleep. And then what happens? You wake up again. Then again, you go to sleep. This is called chakram. Then what is the destiny of this chakram? The destiny of the chakram is it can be broken. How do you break it? When you understand where the events manifest and where the event is nothing but thinking. There is no event. There is only thinking. Thinking manifests where, the thinking becomes unmanifest where, there is no thinking. Where I see the mirage, the sand where I see the mirage, and the sand where I see the mirage or where I don't see the mirage, in that sand there is no mirage, there is no water. Water, mirage ununderstood looks like water, real thing. In the light of the sand, what is it? Mirage. Mirage doesn't make a second to the reality. Therefore, what happens? Man he misses the present because he is all the time thinking of what happens there. उसके बाद क्या होता है, उसके बाद जिंदगी में क्या होता है, अंत में क्या होता है? As if I say he is going to be happy with that. अंत में क्या होता है? कुछ नहीं होता है ना, कुछ तो होता होगा, बताओ जी। आप तो पंडित जी हैं, आपको तो मालूम होगा, आप तो सर्वज्ञ हैं, बताओ जी। आप तो साधु जी हैं, बताओ जी। कुछ नहीं होता है जी, जो होना सब बंद होता है। ऐसे कैसे होता है? उसके बाद क्या होता है? How do you manage this thinking? Unless I manage this thinking, I cannot know exactly I can't understand what the Shruti is talking. What happens after happiness? Therefore, every thinking being a part of creation, the thinker is not the creator of the universe. The individual thinker is not a part of creation. Because even this identity that I am a thinker is a part of appearance, is a part of mirage. Like that I am a dreamer, the identity of being a dreamer is a part of dream. Whatever I think inside the dream, I am walking down. Every thought about me there is also dreamt. In fact, a dream is nothing but a dreaming about oneself. You don't dream anything else, because in the non-dual truth, if there is a dream, it is the truth's dream about itself. It is the truth's dream about itself. Who else can dream, ji? Dusra to hai nahi. About what can the truth dream? About itself. Therefore, it is the truth that dreams itself as a thinker, as the body, as the senses, as the mind, as the intellect, as Mr. So and so. भगवान ही जीव की वेश धारण करता है. That is what we say, what we mean when the Shastra says tat srishtva tadevanu pravishat, having created the body himself occupies it. How can the Shastra be more lucid than this? How can the Shastra be more clear? जो सृष्टि करता है वही सृष्टि को, he creates a form and himself occupies. The form means as the seer of it. He makes a form out of himself, he creates a form out of himself, and himself stands as the seer of it. The form is made out of himself and he stands the seer of it. The sound is made of his own nature and himself stands as the hearer of it. Because दूसरा कोई है ही नहीं है. Therefore that identity, that dreamt identity cannot be the truth of the dream. This is I can't make it more clear. The dreamt identity of the truth. The dreamt identity, that I am a thinker is a dreamt identity of mine. That I am the body is a dreamt identity of mine. Any dreamt identity cannot be the truth of the dream. The undreamt identity is the truth of the dream. Wow! The undreamt identity is infinitude. The unlimited being, the timeless being, which is the undreamt identity of the individual is. The undreamt identity is the Brahmatvam that can be the truth of the earth and the heaven. In this manner, in the verse number Prana-Vricha, Vedavyasa Bhagavanji Sutrakara says, this universe is not a mental creation. As many philosophers think, this is all your mental creation. If it is all your mental creation, why are you living in such a small house? You can create a bigger house too. Anyway, it is all your mental creation. First you must create everything the best for yourself and लोगों के लिए थोड़ा थोड़ा दे देना. इसमें क्या है? It is not your mental creation. All your mental creations are a part of God's creation. Mind is a dreamt identity. That I am an individual is a dreamt identity. A dreamt identity cannot be the truth of the whole dream. Bheda Vyapadeshat. Very beautiful sutra. Bheda Vyapadeshat. We say man is Bhagavan, man is the truth, but man as man is only man. His undreamt nature is Brahman. So there is a difference between a notional identity about the truth and the truth. So Vedanta, properly understood, it does not create any ego. If the thinker thinks as an individual I am Brahma, he becomes only egoistic. Without understanding the truth, if you start feeling as a jiva, he becomes a Ravana. In fact, Vedanta says not only you are Brahman, every living being, including a mosquito. Therefore, you can't really, there is no scope for ego. Vedanta, even as believed, can destroy ego. Why? Even if I don't understand, if I believe that every living being is the same Brahman, then on what basis can I make a comparison? That is why the right thing, even the belief of the truth, correctly believed, is a big answer. Correct belief, correct, right belief is a big answer. Right belief is only next to right knowledge. Right belief is next only to right knowledge. And right belief is independent of the Shastra. Right belief, when I study the Shastra, I take it for granted that everything is the truth. That is called right belief. But independent of the exposure to the Shruti, I can't even have a right belief. It is not that really right belief cannot be had independent of the Shastra, exposure to the Shastra. Because independent of the Shastra, philosophies speculate about. In fact, they even say the souls do have gradation because it is as per the gradation of the souls we have this gradation of class system, caste system. But all they speculate. Especially when you take a lot of ganja. Ganja creates all this speculation. Therefore, I am telling you, even Vedanta ununderstood, but correct as it is, believing it as it says is a big answer. Just taking for granted what it says, that we are by nature free. We are by nature not a thought. We are by nature not an object of thought. We are a peaceful being. That even that, we are already a peaceful being. This very thinking works in the subconscious that I gravitate towards myself. The belief that I am by nature peaceful makes me gravitate towards myself. Unconsciously I gravitate towards myself. When I think that Shanti is right there, then I slowly gravitate. If I put my pleasure at a given point in space and I go on thinking it is there, it is there, it is there, then I gravitate. That is the law. This is also some kind of law of gravitation. It's a law of gravitation, yes. That's why Bhagavan says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante, tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. What he means is this. Whatever you strongly believe, you gravitate towards that. It may be a wrong belief, but still you will gravitate towards it. If you think money is the only answer, slowly you will become desirous of money, you will start working hard for money. You see, that very law will whip you to move in that direction. Yes. Somehow or other you find in yourself the capacity to move in that direction. You think, no, your Shanti lies, you strongly believe, because through the exposure, through the Shastram, if you strongly believe that the peace is within you, even without understanding, just taking it for granted, that the Shanti is a part of the very self, is the nature of the self, then I gravitate. That's why I say right belief is next only to the right understanding. And the right belief is the basis for all the visible forms of Vedic culture. That's called Shraddha. Shraddha is nothing but the right belief. So, right belief. You see, yes, the Shruti says that man is full, I take it for granted. Because Shraddha is the Pramana. Because my not accepting it, my using the logic doesn't help me to speculate something better. Independent logic can't help me to speculate something, a better belief. That all that I want is a part of, is my nature. How can there be a better belief, Ji? How can there be a better belief? That my happiness lies in heaven is no better belief. I am already full. The Shruti says man is already full, he has to look at himself, he has to understand it. I take it for granted. Therefore my right belief can give me relaxation, second only to right knowledge. Are you able to follow what I am saying? That right belief true to the nature of the truth. It is a belief true to the nature of the truth. Understanding true to the nature of the truth is right understanding. Belief true to the nature of the truth as stated by the Shruti, as is also given by our experiences. I say, there is no better belief than thinking that we are already full. Can there be a better belief? That is the best belief. I mean, that is the fact, but until I understand it, that is called Shraddha. Understand what is Shraddha. Shraddha is the right belief. The entire visible form of Vedic culture is based on what? Right belief, Shraddha. Any belief not true to the nature of the truth, we say it's a blind belief. Unverifiable belief. Whereas the right belief is verifiable in understanding, because every right belief can become right knowledge. Every right belief can become right knowledge. Therefore, Bheda Vyapadeshat. Bheda Vyapadeshat means the thinker as the thinker is different from the thinker's swarupa, which is form. Therefore, it is not man's mental creation. They say it is all your creation. It is a fashion. It is so fashionable these days to say, everybody says, as if it is the final one. It's all your mental creation. Wait, when did I create? If my house can be my mental creation, definitely I would have added a few more rooms deep. Mental creation. Therefore, modern education as accumulation of information doesn't help you to understand Vedanta unless there is a discipline in thinking. Discipline in thinking. Our old scriptures always, our Tarka Shastram, all our disciplines in the old Shastras helped man to think logically. These days, what the people say logical, they don't know really logical thinking. Their logical thinking is applied to material accumulation. Bas. If I do this, it has to be like, you are being logical in your business. You are logical, they are also very logical. Chalo, let us accept. We will give them the benefit of doubt. In the realm of materialism, people do show a bit of logic in them. Then also they are illogical. When you are confused, you are illogical. Yes. Hey, those people who are making money for you, you should be nice to them. That is being logical. No, you become illogical. Yes. You become illogical. When you are logical, even in your artha and kama, it gives you a lot of happiness. It gives you a lot of happiness. But anyway, when it comes to understanding the truth, they don't have the discipline of thinking. Definitely not. Whereas Indian scriptures have the discipline you will think. Therefore, it is illogical to think this is all my mental brain. Hey, you are perceiving, you can't even say it's all my sensory creation. It's my sensory perception. Yes, it is my perception, but not that really, it is not that it is there because I see it, etc. Even without seeing, I feel it is there, therefore it's a creation. Forms are not created by my eyes. It's not a subjective creation. It's not a thinker's creation. It's not even observer's creation. I call myself an observer in relation to the creation that is there. Not as an observer I create. No. Observer is a word in resolving the riddle, not in creating the riddle. Therefore, it is an appearance in the truth, which is the undreamt identity of the observer, the non-dual identity of the observer. Within the non-dual identity of the perceiver, the non-dual identity of the knower, within the non-dual identity of the observer, within the non-dual identity of the sakshi, within the non-dual identity of one's existence, is the appearance of the mind, the senses, and the universe, etc. That is why here we say, Veda Vyapadeshat. Don't unnecessarily fancy that it's all your creation. It's all me. Lot of schools come in, or a lot of groups come into the society. They're invaders, intellectual invaders. They say, and all of them in the past also. Why? Because when it is difficult for you, you can't make head and tail of the Shastra, then you start speculating something, an alternative, like Buddhism. Yes, ji, ye sab hota hai. When the fox can't reach the grapes, then what happens to the grapes? They turn sour. Yes. Grapes turn sour. Suddenly, ji, ऐसे इसकी जरूरत नहीं. The fox says, the jackal says, grapes की जरूरत नहीं, उसमें शुगर लेवल, उससे शुगर लेवल बढ़ता है. दांत खट्टा हो जाता है, कोई जरूरत. Similarly, शास्त्र को थोड़ा बहुत मेहनत करना पड़ता है. Therefore, they come up with some, because human beings have problems, and that is what you can exploit. People have tensions. You can always come up with a theory and tell them something. And people have money, they can give money. You give them some relief, like Ayurvedic doctors. ये तो है ही इस दुनिया में, I'm telling you. ये तो है ही. Helplessness is thoroughly exploited. Helplessness is thoroughly exploited. Yes. Therefore, people come up with a lot of theories. Please, you can never have even a theory better than even a right belief. What the Shastra says, you are already free. What more do you want? You are already the ocean. You are already the ocean. Look at yourself. Now, I don't want to look at the undreamt identity of myself. Then I would like to find an answer in the realm of thought. I want an answer to the thought in the realm of thought. That is not possible. The answer to the tension born of thought, the answer to the thought that causes tension is not another. The answer to that tormenting thought, the answer to the problematic thought is not another thought. No. The thought-free truth is the answer to the thought. Mirage is a thought. Of course, it's a dreamt thought, not a willed thought. It's not a willed thought, it is a dreamt thought. The flatness of the earth is not a willed thought. It's not a deliberate thought, but it is a dreamt thought. That is creation. When we say creation, that is the creation. The dreamt thought. And there is no will behind this. Neither God's will nor my will. There is no will. Will has to be individual will. There is no such a thing called universal will. These are all phrases which have no meaning. Will is different. Will is always individual. Will. Therefore, the most heartening thing about this Indian culture, this scripture is nobody can say anything better about yourself. That is enough. Nobody can say in the creed, nobody can say anything better about yourself. You are the non-dual, peaceful being. इससे आगे क्या होगा? इससे आगे कौन कहेंगे जी? So even if a group comes, these days one group is making rounds. You strongly believe you can get money, you will get money. You must believe in yourself. Is it an alternative to Vedanta? Is it an alternative? Yesterday that also I refuted. Just because you strongly believe that you can make money, it doesn't. I said, even if with all your strong belief, it can't guarantee. You may get, you may not get. Then how will you accept your failure? How will you accept your failure? Supposing you didn't work for it, you can actually say, "Oh, मैंने काम नहीं किया, मैंने प्राप्त नहीं किया." It is easy. A lazy man has a big lesser problem because he can always say, कोई बात नहीं, मैं तो कुछ किया ही नहीं, मेरे को मिला ही नहीं. So he is much better off. लेकिन the one who has worked hard and if he doesn't get, how does he accept his failure without the help of the truth? Say, my Prarabdha. You have to take in the whole topic has to bear upon. Even to accept one small failure, the entire Shastram has to bear upon it. The truth has to bear upon it. In the realm of this dream, the law of karma is there. And it is also dreamt, and that law of karma, I have to abide by that law of karma, it haunts me wherever I am. So my past is there, that interferes, perhaps, in the light of the past, even though I have worked hard, I am denied of the result. I have to, then alone I can accept. I can go ahead. Without really the truth, you can't even go ahead in life, I am telling you. Otherwise you will be asking the question, कैसे होगा? इसका समाधान क्या है जी? जब तक इसका समाधान नहीं मिलता है, आगे इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं होगा. ये कैसे हुआ? पिछले साल शादी किया, इस साल we are thinking of the divorce, supposing. इसका समाधान क्या है? समाधान कुछ नहीं है. इसका समाधान यही है कि प्रारब्ध है. People are little, they want to find out an alternative to karma siddhanta, which is meaningless. Trying to find out an alternative to karma siddhanta is like trying to find out an alternative to the truth. हमारा विचार में यही है. You can't find out an alternative to karma siddhanta, an alternative to the truth. Yes. These are all just passing winds. Next sutra ji. Prakaranat. Prakaranat. Prakaranam jayadam brahmatmanah kasmin bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam ज्ञातं भवतीति एकविज्ञानेन सर्वविज्ञानापेक्षणात् परमात्मने सर्वात्मके विज्ञाते सर्वमिदं विज्ञातं स्यात् न केवले प्राणवृत्ति. Here this particular thing comes, the earth and the heaven. This Mundaka Shruti comes in this particular, what we are analyzing is a Vakya from the Mundaka Upanishad. And the Mundaka Upanishad begins with this sentence. Hey Bhagavan, please teach me that by knowing which everything becomes known. Now, that thing cannot be a dreamt detail. By seeing or knowing a dreamt detail, I cannot know everything. By knowing only what is not the dreamt detail, the undreamt identity of myself, the undreamt truth alone, by knowing which the undreamt, by knowing which is the undreamt, by knowing that undreamt truth, it is possible to know all that is dreamt as nothing but the dream about the truth. The truth alone is the dream is a dream and the reality is reality. Therefore, thinker is not, by knowing the thinker, by knowing myself as a thinker, by looking at myself as an individual thinker, I can't come to know everything, because my thinker identity itself is a dreamt detail. Therefore, Prakaranat, that is the Mundaka Upanishad begins on this note. Yasmin vijñāte sarvam vijñātam bhavati. That is the context. This is the context. Mundaka Upanishad is the context of unfolding the undreamt truth. The truth whose existence is not dreamt. Existence is independent of my dreaming. Independent of the dream. And in Mundaka Upanishad also there is another shloka. Suvarna Sayuja Sakhayo, etc., etc. There are two birds in a tree, and one tree is the eater of the fruit and the other bird is only a seer of it. Thus, even though both are birds and they belong to the same jati, and yet one is the limited eater, he becomes a Sukhi and Dukhi, whereas the other one is a peaceful observer. He is peaceful. Similarly, my thinker identity is a conscious identity. My undreamt identity also is a conscious identity. My dreamt identity carries a limitation, sense of limitation. My undreamt identity is unlimited, and my dreamt identity as a thinker, I go about experiencing pleasure and pain. Now suffer, now anandam, now August 15th, now again Monday, now August 15th, now these chuttis are very deceptive. You feel the previous day, joy, we are going together. Even before you find out it is August 15th, you wake up, the August 15th is already over. Therefore, these joys of human beings are very, very like Diwali crackers. You know that particular thing called anar? You know anar? Fuljadi. It just comes, gone, comes. Hamara Guruji used to say, born is gone. Born is gone. In the same breath, born is gone. It's just one phrase. Within that one phrase, ब्रह्मा जी का काम भी खत्म हो जाती, विष्णु जी का भी काम खत्म हो जाती, शिव जी का काम भी खत्म हो जाती. Just in one phrase, born is gone, born is gone, born is gone. Therefore, my dreamt jivatvam is vulnerable to pleasure and pain. My undreamt fullness is the observable there. So I am both the undreamt truth and also I find myself as a dreamt thinker. I take myself, the dreamt thinker me, I look upon it as the real me. Like the dreamt identity of the dreamer, there I say this is all that is me. The dreamt me, the thinker, is the real me. Therefore, I can't really look beyond my thinker identity. And all my pleasures and pains and fortunes and misfortunes are a part of my thinker identity. I come to live with it, I come to say, kya karo? This is all that is me. And if the Shastra comes and says, no, yes, this is you, but this is only a dreamt, it is a dreamt identity of yours, not the intrinsic identity. There are no two entities, there is only two identities. There are only two identities. One is a dreamt identity, the other is the real natural identity, and that natural identity, the timeless identity, is me. That is the vastu, but because there is a dreamt identity, we call that vastu also as the natural identity. It is not just really natural identity, that is the vastu, that is the fact. Associated with the dreamt identity, the fact also we use the word identity, the real identity. Otherwise it is just, that is the only identity. That is the only identity, that is the only nature. To be water is the only identity of water. Or kya hai ji? In that context, the water's only identity is to be water. But because there is a dreamt identity called I am a wave, the water thinks I am a wave. But yeah, this is not your real identity. Your real identity is to be water, and your identity as a wave is only a notional identity, a dreamt identity. Because every other word, we try to associate deliberation. But a notional identity, avidya-born identity, dreamt identity, they are nice words. It means what? You can't associate deliberateness with the dreamt. How? Nobody deliberates. Nobody has a deliberate dream. If you deliberately dream, then it is called a daydream. But we don't give daydream as a drishtanta. We give the night dream as a drishtanta, where you are not deliberate. Okay, ji. Sthiti adanabhyam cha. Let us read the sutra. Sthiti adanabhyam cha. The one bird has a sthiti, just exists, is. This is called sthiti, very beautiful. Sutrakara goes one step ahead. He says, it observes, no, it is. One bird is. The other bird is busy eating the fruit. You can never have a more profounder word for describing the truth than as is. Sat. To be. To be. Sthiti. Adanabhya. Adana means eating. On the basis of one bird being present and the other bird getting involved in eating, that identity of my identity as an eater is dreamt. My identity of being present is my actual identity. In every life, I only see my identity of being an eater. I am all the time consuming. People say, no, don't consume. Then what else do you do? अगर आप कंज्यूम नहीं करेंगे दिन भर, आप how do you spend the time? How do you spend time? Don't eat. Don't eat. Don't eat. That is why all these Matajis who are very rich, they want to remain, invisibly thin. And they don't eat and they get bored. At least the Punjabis, they get occupied with eating. So that they are happy at home. That's why they are better grihasthas, I am telling you. Why? अपने घर में पड़े रहते हैं, आनंद से वो तो सुबह से लेकर प्रोग्राम होता है खाने पीने का. So the घर में होता. Supposing there are a lot of people who want to be invisible within. This is my observation. This is true. Then what happens if you have nothing to eat at home? Then the home doesn't interest you. Then आप जाएंगे city walk वगैरह चले जाते. You spend money on all these things. And there also you are not supposed to eat. Then you have a coffee after coffee. Because coffee is supposed to not add to your weight. But it will take away your dimag. Yes, it is going to affect your mind. That is why most of the rich Matajis are wonkies, I am telling you. They are all wonkies. They don't know what they are talking. पता नहीं क्या क्या बोलते रहते हैं. Therefore, at least खाना पीना घर में बैठ के अच्छी तरह से खाते पीते रहो. It will be nice. Yes, much better. Therefore, consumer identity is a dreamt identity. If I have to control the consumer identity, then I have to look into my peaceful identity, non-consuming identity, the truth identity. For any discipline to be successful in life, I have to enter Vedanta. If I have to become successful in any discipline, in any penance, in any discipline, in any sensible thing in life, I have to be successfully sensible. I have to enter Vedanta. Otherwise I may become sensible for a day or two. Then again I go back. I am a dog's tail until I enter Vedanta. Yes. Once I enter Vedanta, I see I am not a dog's tail. I cease to be illogical. I cease to be illogical. And what inspires me is the truth. Therefore, anyway, sthiti adanabhyam cha, this is over. Next comes, I have completed this adhikaranam. This is over. Therefore, the source of the earth and the heaven cannot be matter, cannot be an individual. It has to be a conscious, unlimited being. Then in the next sutra is Bhumadikaranam. Bhumadikaranam comes in Chandogya Shruti. What is Bhuma mean? We'll see it in the next class. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.